Thanks for staying with us. So there's an ongoing report about a police officer, superintendent of police, who was arrested, detained by the police for allegedly raping a 17-year-old at the Ogudu police station. And many have actually expressed their displeasure of this occurrence that happened quite recently. Lagos State Police Command says it has detained one of its officers who allegedly raped the 17-year-old at the area H Command Ogudu. The command spokesperson, Superintendent of Police Benjamin Hundeyin, confirmed the arrest on Sunday, July 14th. According to the news agency of Nigeria, the girl became a victim of alleged violent sexual assault while trying to recover her alleged missing phone. The police had lured her, saying that they have found the thief who took her phone. By the time she got to the police station, he locked the door, and that's when he took advantage of her. She was raped, and then I think her family members or sisters posted it on social media. Of course, it went viral, and the police has immediately reacted. Now, this is one of those really painful stories that you don't even know where the conversation should start from, because the parents who sent the 17-year-old to the police station would also try to blame herself. That why did I even follow this girl? Yeah. You know, there are so many places you regrets here, and people will feel regrets. The fact that we have a police that nobody can feel secure. You can't even send a child to a police station that's supposed to be one of the most secure places.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, that's where your child, your minor, got raped. So there are so many parts of this that it's really confusing. And let me hear your thoughts on this when you heard the story. BC, let me start with you.
Yeah, so it's a very painful one to see people who are supposed to be protecting us as citizens, lives and property, do this sort of thing, especially when it comes to a minor. That girl was 17, for crying out loud. If you needed to do something, there are people you can go and meet. Say you don't want to touch your wife, and your body is charging you. There are people you can go and meet, pay them, and do whatever it is that you want to do. But somebody who came to you in trust so that you are able to do your job and help them recover their stolen property, you now, in turn, do harm to that person. This is so unfair. I'm very happy that his face is showing, right? And the way that we are going to follow up this case so that it's not hidden and nobody should be asking for forgiveness, because at the end of the day, what we see is the family will be appealed to, forgive now, let you know he's a married man, he has a family, you will ruin his life, you ruin his business. He should have thought of that before defiling a 17-year-old. So I like the fact that his face is out there. And even after this case is sort of resolved, he should be made a sex offender publicly. There should be a place where you go to and you see these people so that they are named and shamed for the rest of their lives. You don't do this. It's wickedness. I'm also worried about the girl in question. You know, you've lived your life till you are crossing into womanhood. You know, you have escaped all of these things. You know, when you get to a certain age and you did not experience some of these things, you thank God, because it's not easy to be a girl in Nigeria. Yeah. Honestly, it's not. And then just as you are crossing into adulthood, this sort of thing happens to you. What could she be going through right now? The sort of trauma that she'll be going through, this may likely mar her for the rest of her life. I want us to also pay attention to the girl in question. What sort of help are they giving to her right now? What sort of therapy are they giving to her right now? If the parents sort of need people to handle that, they can speak out. We'll find people who would, you know, sort of help the girl while that man is being punished. We don't want to hear that they've finished the case, so they're forgiving. There's no forgiveness right now. Okay.
I'm very grateful. Okay,
go ahead.
I'm very grateful that this happened in Lagos. At least here they have a system. I expect the office of Mrs. Vivo to, you know, get on top of it for the girl's sake, help her with therapy, psychosocial support, and all of that. But my appeal here, this has happened, is that the police, this is one we have heard. This might not be the first time a police officer puts a gun to a girl's head. Yeah. What is even outrageous is the fact that it happened within the station. And so the way these police stations are built, these kind of things can happen. And nobody will hear the outside the door. Yeah. They are old buildings. They are not modern buildings. Even the state CID Kwanti here, when you go there, you see the structure. These police officers also need a proper building, a good office. If their walls can be glass paneled, how does a superintendent of police lock up a girl and have a whole day of rape and the poor girl cannot cry? You know, if you, they should build more modern offices for them, facility for them, glass paneled wall, glass wall, so that everybody will be seeing what is happening. Yeah. Let everything be transparent. It should not be the old colonial buildings anymore. Most of the police stations are outdated. If you talk about structure, even it's not motivating enough for the officers working.
Yeah.
You know, it allows a lot of bad things happen within the place that is supposed to be the most secure for any individual. If I was supposed to come and report a criminal in my neighborhood, for instance, just by movement and outside, and somebody that knows me that sees something tells the criminal, and that's it, I'm the first suspect. But let's have proper buildings that are glasses so that you can, at least, nothing like of this kind of nature will happen to any young girl in that place.
Those things, we see modern offices have those glass walls, and we always wonder why they do that. It's because of this transparency.
Yes.
No underhand dealings here, no even corruption. People can take pictures,
everything,
can record you,
everywhere.
that took money from but you know, so there are the reasons why these modern offices like that. So you're very correct. These are some of the structures that we need to put in place going forward. What are your thoughts when you heard this story, Amaka?
Yeah, so this is absolute abuse of power.
Yes.
Of power in two senses. One, that you raped a child or a girl that came to report a case by using the gun. Because I'm sure if that man did not use the gun on the girl, maybe should have been able to scream. But when you see like someone says, if you open your mouth, threaten, if you open your mouth, I'll shoot you. So maybe that was also why she didn't, she didn't cry out. And then secondly, using information that you obtained from the police station, because you knew that someone reported a case of a missing phone. So you used an information, data within the security agency. You use that information to lure somebody into the police station. So, if they're even trying him, they should be on both. Do you understand? On both sides, yes. So this is really terrible. Like, you hear things like that. Even from, I don't know how confirmed this is, because I'm seeing that from conversations being had online, that the commander and that he's the man's wife, that they've been begging the parents, the girl's mom, to hush the matter. But this is no longer, this is out of their hands, because we all need to get involved. Yes, to make sure that justice is served, so that as a deterrent to other police officers that abuse their powers. This is sad. Imagine the audacity to even do that inside the police station. So you can imagine what also happens to all these girls that they go to Allen, they come to Admiralty, they pick up all these girls that maybe they're prostituting themselves. You can imagine what happens to those ones that can't even speak out, those ones that they keep overnight, right? You can imagine what they're doing to those girls. So they really need to look not just into this particular matter, into what happens to women and girls when brought into the station. Absolutely. Yes, we need to look into this matter.
That's a very, very good point, because, when I was reading the report from SP Hundeyin, he had initially confirmed that the detained officer had escaped, but then he turned himself in afterwards, and they assured the public that nothing will be swept under the carpet. They're going to do a full-scale investigation and ensure that justice is served. But you see, my worry is just what Amaka just said. There are so many more of these girls that this is happening to as we speak. We need proper interventions. It's very possible that many of these commissioners of police in their states must look inwards and see what they can do, especially those DPOs. This is a superintendent of police. He is also a bit of a high level. There should be something more. The kind of sanction in this should be very, very, weighty. I don't know, something weighty, extremely weighty. Because I've always advocated for castration. I think somebody has also advocated for castration or total. There's got to be something. It can't be just put them in jail. Putting in jail is no longer sufficient. So we need the CP also to come out openly, because we need more he for she's being verbal, vocal, and being the forefront of this fight against molestation, rape of minors, or even anybody at all.
Yeah,
so
male
we need them to come to be very, 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 very vocal. We need them to be. We need to see them, that you are visible and that you have a position on this matter, because this case in particular should not be set on the carpet.
I would also add that mental evaluation for these our officers is something that should be done regularly. It's not just at the point of recruitment, where they are just doing some of those, they are training, you get a few psychiatrists and therapists, they talk to them 1 day, 2 days, and it's done. It's something that must be put in their schedule that they review over and over. It could be quarterly, just to ensure that everybody working in that space, because I am beginning to think that to have that sort of power where you know that, especially in a country like this where you feel that you can do anything and get away with it. They say power intoxicates. Yeah. And corrupts and intoxicates, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Where you feel you can do anything and get away with it, somehow you need to be checked. So with those evaluations that will be happening from time to time, you can tell when one person done decrease and find a way to, give that person time off to go for a rehabilitation, therapy, and all of that. See, we need to upgrade the way we run our security systems because the world is changing. We can no longer do things the way we've been doing it and always claim that we do not have funds. These are some of the areas that we need to look into. From that, you can tell those people who are already having tendencies and how they investigate. I know that in some countries, there's an investigation that you're doing that you're not allowed to do it in a private place. There's always a camera watching because they need to be sure that the officer handling it too is okay. And you're not infringing on the rights of, the...
And let me take this call. Caller Wale calling from Ojo. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Yes.
Let me give a brief contribution. Nigerian police, we have some of the best among them, but also we have some of the worst among them. There was a time, very early in the morning, my vehicle broke down. I was with my wife in the dark. I didn't know they were police people. They were in Mufti, and they came to us. Can we help you? I said, yes, the vehicle break down. And they helped us to push the vehicle to the side of the road while they continued their job. When we got the job done, I went to them. I said, oh, have this for your breakfast. The man refused. He refused. From his spoken word, he should be from the Kale side. He said, Daddy, we have just helped you. You can go. You can see that kind of a thing. A policeman who is expected to tell someone that is of the age of his daughter, can I help you? What happened? What is the type of the phone? This and that. He now it's a gun he put on the girl and locked the girl inside and raped her. That rape she did to that girl. She has used that girl's virginity to prolong his own life. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm telling you what he has done to that girl. So they should investigate. They should ask the girl whether the girl is virgin or not. If the girl is virgin at the time he raped her, he has used his virginity. And that policeman should be thoroughly dealt with.
Thank you, Mr. Kolawole.
The one we can
what I wanted to...
is that she's underage.
She's underage, yeah. What I wanted to add to what she said, like, in line with our president's, agenda, renewed hope agenda, when we talk about transparency. So there should be transparency on every level, especially the security agencies, because I think that somehow the security agencies are too protected, right? There's just too much mystery surrounding them. Because even though you're incarcerated or you're inside prison or whatever, you still have your human rights, okay? And I think that they need to open up these places for transparency, for people to come in to have questions, most of these inmates, what's going on, what's happening to them, because we need to know, because I want to believe that a lot of transgression is happening inside these places. If you can come to a police station and this kind of thing can happen to you, I can imagine what's happening to people in the cell. I feel so burdened.
We're locked in, sir.
It's important for me to state here that the full investigation was actually ordered by the Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayoade himself. I had written it was signed off by Benjamin Hundeyin, but actually it was a directive by the Commissioner. So the Commissioner of Police in Lagos is involved, which is a good thing. Just like when I was saying that we need to be more visible and verbal, I'm happy he has ordered the investigation, but we still need the posture. We need to see that you're actually very much on top of this, and this person will be brought to book. He's a 56-year-old man that needs to be handled. I'll come to you in a second. Let me take Ade from London. Good morning, Ade.
Yes. I thank God that this one was exposed. What of all those ones happening that we don't hear about? That's number one. Number two, I think the policeman face should be shown to the whole world to know. I don't know what's wrong with these police people. Some of them are very nice, but many are bad. Even in UK, a policeman in Mufti arrested a girl going on her own, took her to the forest, raped her, and killed her there. He's been sentenced to prison now. a white policeman. So I don't know when they are police because they have too much power. When they take you to court, they are the one they would believe whatever he says. The prosecutor would believe. So that is the problem. I think they should do something about it.
Yeah.
Because this family now should be compensated. And you understand? There are good police, but there are bad ones.
Which is what Maka was also trying to allude to, because it's like a cult. They always protect themselves.
Yeah.
So we need to be sure that this person doesn't have the protection that, that the police usually has.
We've had scapegoat police officers in the past that, the police service has decided to make scapegoats of. They, either sack them, demote them publicly. And I'm sure this will be the end after the investigation of this person. Now, I must commend the commissioner for, for giving the directive immediately. Lagos State has wealth of materials to find out what exactly happened in that police station. Number one, taking the girl swab and even helping her with the kind of support she needs to help her heal. But you can imagine this kind of police officer at the desk when somebody is reporting a case of violence against the person or domestic violence, any form of violence, or gender-based violence in that police station. You can imagine if we have police officers, the kind of mentality. So you remember those kind of questions. Wait till you find go there. Wait till you wear go there. Those kind of them. These are the people. The people, it was one ridiculous one a victim was sharing. He was saying, you self, you know enjoy him. And I enjoy on herself. So such police officers, we don't want them at our desk.
Yeah,
if the police can carry on training and post-training and pre-training, we will know the police officers who should be in the station and those who should be on the road. We will know those who should not even be in service. And even though we have shortness of hands, this continuous evaluation must be done from time to time. Because the injustice this thing brings is that a victim that comes before such an officer lacks the courage to continue. If they even had small one, the fear, the embarrassment they put them, and there are women police officers who think like this.
Yeah. Really, sir. Let me take Mrs. Usman from Abuja. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. This is the first time, my first time.
Welcome to the show.
Yes. Please, that police officer, I'm sure this is not his first time of raping girls. He has been doing it for a long time. Only God caught him today. Inshallah, he will be dealt with severely. People should follow it up. They should not allow him to go free. A police officer, they like to cover themselves. They don't get involved there so that their name will not be tarnished. So make sure people follow it to the last conclusion. It should not escape this punishment. This is my contribution.
To a criminal, because this is a criminal. So you can imagine other cases of maybe fraud cases where they also have to handle money. And another thing like we talk about, like in the police station, having that cartel thing is that most times they can't really punish one of their own because that person might threaten to expose other things going on in there, right? So there's a lot. So we need to, I don't know what should be done. Like if they should have other agencies that monitor or punish this, I don't know. But
let us take Simeon from Ogudu. Good morning, Simeon.
Good morning, my children.
Morning.
You see, police force, there are many bad ones, and there are very few good ones. If you want to know them, go to Southeast and see what is going on there. You see at checkpoints, they will hold passengers. They will accept money from them. If you don't have the money, they will tell you. If you don't take care, you are not going back alive. They attach you to be an IPOB member or a criminal or a Curtis member. That's not all they do there every day. If you doubt, send your men to there and see what's going on that Southeast road. Over the road, above the road, or any Southeast. What they are doing there. There are bad ones among them. There are many. If there's any way they can shuffle them and remove all those bad ones out and leave the good ones, Nigeria will be better. Thank you.
See, I was telling you guys I had to speak at Labison University yesterday, and the topic was trust and nation building. And this issue of trust keeps coming up because we don't trust the police to do a thorough investigation. We don't trust the police to ensure that justice is served. We don't trust that this man, this Olabi man, would actually pay the right way for what he did to this young girl, what he allegedly did to this young girl. So the point is that how does a police buy back the trust of the Nigerian people? How do you, because they must see this situation as another opportunity to show that they are actually ensuring the safety and security of Nigerians.
Yes. So on this matter, the only way, it's very easy to get trust, is by doing what is right and be seen to be doing what is right, which is by punishing this person severely and let the public know the punishment that has been meted to this person as a way of deterrence. Very easy to buy trust. It's just that we're not ready to even buy the trust in the first place. But I also think that in sorting these issues in isolation, we are not going to the crux of the matter. We're not going to the foundation of the matter. Our police force needs to be re-engineered and rewired. Because following the history of the police, it was an offshoot of the colonial masters creating that agency to protect them. To see every other Nigerian who is a civilian as someone that can be pushed down, trampled on, disgraced, embarrassed, whatever it is they can met out to the person, and they can go away with it. So for us to get that sort of police, you know, when you travel to some countries and you see how their police is active in helping the citizens, how their police finds joy in what they are doing, is to re-engineer the police to understand that they are here to serve the people. They are here to protect the people. We need to change it from top to bottom. And how we are going to do that holistically is what I cannot sit here and decide. But we must begin to have the right conversations. What sort of orientation at the subconscious level? Because leave all this code of conduct, something that they talk about. They also follow through with the actions that they see their bosses do. Something is, so they pick up somebody is calling, release that person. You know, no saying our boy and all of that. They see all of that. And in their own little power, where they think they have power, they go ahead to frustrate the next person. That's one that is the lowest in rank. Will go ahead to frustrate the next civilian because I feel I can assert my power over this person. So it's a real engineering of what they are there to do, what they are called for. In the world, we have very bad people everywhere. There's no profession you don't find bad people. But there are some professions in our country that will be deliberate, that those bad people will not be found in this, sort of job or responsibility because of the enormity of the responsibility that they have. We cannot find thieves and criminals in a place like the police force because what they are doing is delicate. They actually have the lives of citizens in their hands. So while we're not saying that everybody is perfect, though, we need a form of perfection for so agencies. We need to be very deliberate about it.
There's hardly a system in the world that is good, that is perfect, why you don't find bad eggs trying to spoil the system. But you see Nigerians will lack patience.
Yeah.
I have sat a full day in the state CID to see the authorities because the police officers handling my matter were already messing things up. And you will go to a police officer, you're arguing the law, and the police officer said, in this my jurisdiction, this is what I will do. You take your brief, you repetition the authority, the highest authority, and you see, I have never seen a senior police officer not educated enough to understand the law or that wants to do mago-mago. Once you're able to approach them, there was a time my sister was teaching in a school and the proprietor of the school and his brother who co-invested had an issue. And then the next thing, before we knew it, we were in Alagbo. He had carried all the charges for fraud that he partnered with his brother. I was like, an invitation. We came there. When we're done with the investigation, I sat through. I will sit with you if I have your case. I sat, it's true. I was in a hurry, yes. I wanted to pick my child. I called for help. Nobody helped me, but I stayed it through. Because if you leave that person there and go home, another story.
Yes.
So when we're done, she had given her statement. She was going. I said, can I read through this? She said, no, she doesn't need lawyer here. I said, You will do patience. You will do wisdom with them. Because I know the next thing I will repetition the highest authority. And so we were about to leave. She said, no, you have to do bail. I said, who will do bail? You invited us here to give a statement. Yes. Is my sister the brother of the person? Is she the one you invest? She's a teacher in the school. Somebody to assist your investigation and you want to... He said, no, that's what she do. She's under arrest already. You will meet such police officers. But Nigerians must be willing to change the system also.
Exactly. Yeah, two ways.
You wait it through and do the right thing. Right to the next authority. Every senior police officer overseeing that matter will do the right thing. Once you stay through. Once you are willing to write it, they will, no, this one, like say, get time for Wahala. Yeah. So please wait and see through your matters.
I feel so terrible. Do you have any comments on social media? Yeah, it's really terrible about this case. And we are really looking forward to a thorough investigation, as said. And I just wish we can change our laws. I mean, our laws are too lenient for the kind of citizens we're
No
dealing
way.
with.
I really
it is
a
believe.
life sentence to this officer.
Life sentence for me is not even enough because when you get in there,
Somehow,
yes.
then they say there's a break in and
prison
no.
everything, prison
You need
break.
something more stiffer that stays with you permanently.
Yeah.
Castration is really important.
Yes, very
Let us
important.
find ways to castrate.
For rapists.
We need to begin to advocate for castration for
Yes.
these men who rape minors. These
Yes,
men should not
especially
have
those.
the opportunity
To
to
do
use
it
their
again.
tools again.